Hello, MatthewHarffy here, and on walk with Blue. There he is. Just turning around to say hello, as ever. Hello, Blue. So, for those of you who follow my walks, it's been a while. I'm going to put sunglasses on, it's quite bright. It's been a while since I posted anything of these walks. A couple of weeks ago, I was on holiday in Pembrokeshire with my wife, and I did put out a couple of short little videos then, and I've still got another very short little thing actually as well that I was going to put out that I haven't yet, but I'm busy back with the writing and getting increasingly nervous about it because I feel a sort of build up of pressure that I've got to finish and get things done. I have deadlines just after the summer to hand in the manuscript of Bernicia Chronicles book number 11, the title of which is still not yet common knowledge, I don't think, but it definitely is on my Patreon page. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, you can see the title already. If not, then maybe consider doing so. So yes, I'm back in writing the novel Bernicia Chronicles 11, and by the end of today, it's Friday today, and by the end of today I should be up to 80,000 words, which is a good place to be, although I'm a little bit behind my original planned schedule. But I feel like every time I talk about a book and writing a book, I say how difficult it is in terms of it feels like I'm really struggling to get through it and get to the next stage, etc., etc. And it really does feel like that. Every single book feels really difficult. But there normally comes a point somewhere. Sorry about the wind as well. I forgot to bring my little clip-on microphones, which are a bit better. But if you hear the wind, I apologise. I just need to do something in the edit and see if I can remove some of the wind noise. But yeah, I always feel like it's a massive struggle. And it is in the middle of the book. It always feels a bit difficult. I have a plan, and then things happen in the middle, and I start thinking, oh my goodness, how can I get everything to tie up the way I want it to? And this has definitely been that way again. But there usually comes a point somewhere around, my wife says it's around sort of the 90,000 word mark, that I sort of feel like things are getting better and I know where I'm going with it. So that feels, the dog just stopped right in front of me, almost tripped over it. It feels like I'm just about getting there now. I think part of the problem that I feel that I have with it, well, it's windy, this time round, it's been very stop and start. Wow. Wind has really picked up suddenly. I feel like every time I go for a walk as well, it gets really windy. It makes it more difficult to record. Anyway, yeah, so it feels like it was nice and quiet in here. Look, and a little bit of forest glade. But anyway, yes, it feels like this book has been particularly difficult because I'm coming back to the Bernicia Chronicles after a couple of books. First writing Dark Frontier, set in the 19th century. Then I wrote Shadows of the I'm trying to remember the order, but then Shadows of the Slain I've written as well in the meantime, which is a Bernicia Chronicles book, but they're in Rome at that point. So there's a lot of new characters, a lot of totally new settings and stuff there. So it's almost, although it is the same series, that one and the preceding book, Forest of Foes, which was set in France, Francia, going down through Francia. Again, new characters, new settings, new storylines. So both of those books almost felt like separate from the Bernicia Chronicles series. So I've written Dark Frontier, Forest of Foes, Shadows of the Slain, DominionOfDust, which is the fourth Hunlaf book, which is coming out in October this year. So all of those books have been kind of a departure from Albion of the 7th century, and now I'm back, Bearbrand's back there, and it's been quite a struggle to work out, what's happening. And look, I don't know if you can see this, but if I turn around through there, can you see there's a deer? Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's running off. Can you see that? He's bounding off there. Not sure what type of deer that is. But just changing the subject from the writing for a second, you may have noticed this is not my usual walk, or at least it's not the walk that I normally do, that you'll have seen along the farm with Blue. There's a couple of reasons for that, but mainly because we are very close. We're the other side of the canal, and there's this, as you can see, a big solar farm here. It's quite quiet, so we don't see very many people walking around here. And they do keep the grass cut reasonably short. They cut it down, so it's quite nice to walk. But the other thing is, where the farm is, they planted corn. It's very dense and obviously not like grass at all, but I was used to running through it. I walked along there the other day beside it, and he decided, I'm just going to run through the wheat field. I say corn, it's not American corn, English corn, so it's known as wheat. But yeah, so it says wheat field, and he decided, I'm just going to run through this just as if it was grass. But of course, it's very, very brittle and tough, nothing like grass. And he managed to cut just below his eye, just like running through, because obviously he just thought, I'll just run past this bit of grass and just push out the way. Well, it didn't, and his eye, he didn't hurt himself too badly, but my daughter noticed when we got home that he cut himself just under his eye. So I thought, probably not the best idea to go walking there, which is why the change of scenery. So we're doing this at the moment. That was a bit of an aside. So anyway, Bearbrand back in Albion, picking up all the storylines of Pender and Oswiu and the Queen Arnflad and all of these things, all the people in Obenford, his Bearbrand's family, his children, his love interests, and even he's got a child now, and so all of this stuff, and trying to sort of bring it all back together and piece it all back together and make sense of it all and tell a compelling story. So anyway, having said all of that, I'm now just approaching 80,000 words, and I feel like I'm close to it sort of clicking, and then should, over the course of the next month or so, should finish the first draft, and then it will be a case of maybe by the end of June, probably sometime in July, I'll finish the first draft, and then I'll be picking it up and doing some edits over the summer, and then moving on to the next book, because the writer's work is never done. But before I move on to the next novel, I'll be picking up the work on the novella that I'm co-writing with Stephen A. Mackay. And if you've been following this, you'll know that I co-host the podcast Rock, Paper, Swords with Stephen, and this year we're doing this Christmas novella together. So I'll be working on that, and that will be working on that sometime probably in August, September time, polishing it up, and then doing some edits, and then that will be published sometime towards the end of the year, or before Christmas. And talking of Rock, Paper, Swords, it's coming up to our 3rd year anniversary on sometime in July. I think we launched the first episode at the very beginning, 1st of July, 3 years ago. And this year, for the episode that's coming out in that first week of July, we're going to have we're going to talk about the last 3 years, and there's going to be a big announcement. So if you are a follower of the podcast, if you listen to that normally, make sure you don't miss that episode, the 3rd year anniversary, because there will be a huge announcement. Interesting times ahead. So I think that's probably it for today. I've spoken for quite a while. As I said, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so it felt like I had quite a bit to talk about. I'm going to carry on the walk with Blue, and there he is. Hey Blue. There you go. That's goodbye from Blue, and it's goodbye from me. Thanks everybody, and thanks for all your support, and thanks to all the patrons for all of your support as well, and see you soon. Happy reading.